In our last video, we explored how empathy can be cultivated in couples therapy. Today, I'm going to turn towards something just as essential, which is how we support clients when obstacles arise to either offering or receiving empathy. Because when we can make room for these obstacles as messengers rather than as barriers, we are opening the door to deeper exploration and healing, often at the core. Then clients are able to truly uncover their authentic empathic heart. And then they can turn towards their partner with that quality of authentic curiosity and presence that allows them to really tend to a different quality of connection that is essential for supporting thriving relationships. In this video, you're going to learn about 3 common obstacles to partners offering or receiving empathy and how we can begin to support clients as these obstacles arise. The first obstacle I'll share about today is fear of responsibility or fear of over-responsibility. This is oftentimes a sense of, oh man, if I really listen to this, I'm going to have to fix it. So when hearing a partner's pain or simply hearing that their partner has a need or some emotional content up, a listener might unconsciously believe they're either going to be to blame or they're going to be responsible for jumping in to make things better or to tend to the connection by making things better. Instead of simply witnessing and understanding their partner's experience and staying for a moment with their world, they may quickly become consumed by the weight of obligation. This could trigger reactive patterns, either a shutting down, a withdrawing to avoid this perceived burden, or an attempting to problem solve and get in there to fix things in a way that bypasses the real emotional connection that could be possible in the moment if they could stay with their partner a bit in that empathic presence. As MCD therapists, we guide clients in noticing their internal obstacles in real time. We help them to pause in the moment, to study this experience, to better understand the fear that is arising and what it is in service to. With the client's increased mindful awareness of this reactive pattern and what needs are up for them in the moment, we can begin to create space for a new experience. This may look like the couple deciding in the moment to make an agreement that supports the listener, one that offers reassurance that in this moment, they don't have to fix anything, they don't have to take responsibility for anything, they just get to listen and be curious. And with that reassurance, oftentimes we can see a little relief in the system and the person can kind of settle in. Or we might invite the listener to pause and turn inwards and place a hand on their heart, silently naming their own intention. Might sound something like, I want to understand and be curious about them right now. I don't have to fix anything. I want to understand and be curious about them. I don't have to fix anything. I've even seen it be effective for a client to have the internal mantra of, it's not about me. Something is happening for them. It's not about me. Something is happening for them. Just that support of differentiation in the moment that allows them to feel some of that relief so they can open up to that curiosity. Once we see that curiosity and that space arise, we can then turn them back towards the practice of empathic presence while they now have greater access to honoring their own needs for maybe autonomy or choicefulness in how they're going to engage. Another common obstacle is resentment. When empathy seems to have been one-sided, a listener may resist offering it because they believed they haven't experienced enough of that need being met themselves. A client might say something like, "Why should I listen when you never listen to me?" Or, "I always have to be the one to give. When's it going to be my turn?" these can be hallmarks where we might be in one of those moments. Um, for many, this pattern develops because they have truly rarely experienced the quality of attunement they would like to really meet that need for empathy themselves, either in this current relationship or sometimes throughout the arc of their life. And it's become a really tender need. Again, we're going to guide clients in noticing and building mindful awareness of this obstacle in real time. And with that awareness, we're again going to be able to create that space for a new experience that supports them in honoring their boundary of not overgiving and supports them in hopefully building trust that their need for empathy can be met. So, here are a couple of example interventions that we could use. One is you may choose to do a partner empathy exercise that has a reciprocal nature. The speaker might speak for 2 minutes while the other listens and then offers 3 minutes of empathy. And then they change roles. This person speaks for 2 minutes, this person offers 3 minutes of empathy. The reciprocal nature of this can build in a sense of mutual generosity around the spirit of empathy in the relationship, beginning to build trust that this need can be met. Also can become an access point for healing of what might create a barrier along the way as we're doing this exercise. We can study those moments as well. Oftentimes, clients enjoy that once they've learned how to do this exercise, they can also take it home and create a container for themselves of reciprocal empathy, especially around hard topics where they maybe haven't had the experience of both people having an experience of truly feeling seen, heard, and understood. So hopefully trust can be cultivated along the way in this exercise. Similarly, if a partner has resentment because they actually have a difficulty recognizing that empathy is present or absorbing it, taking it in when it's being offered. Again, we're going to help them study and notice this experience when their partner's trying to offer them this presence, what's happening in their body, what thoughts are arising that are creating this obstacle to taking it in. We can then customize practices to support them in opening to the experience of receiving. Possibly they hold an intention simply to soften their body, literally physically softening the guards, or maybe they hold an internal attention to be open to the possibility that in this moment, empathy could be associated with nourishment rather than pain. Oftentimes, if that need has just been really associated with pain or lack, just being open to the idea, could I let a little bit of this in right now? Could I look for the potential of nourishment and maybe even supporting them in just bite-sizing that nourishment in, just sip by sip, can allow them to begin to soften into receiving this need really being met, which can begin to reduce the resentment over time. And oftentimes it's very nice for their partner who wants to be received. The third obstacle is simply habits partners have of responding to connect in ways that simply are not empathy. Instead of meeting their partner's heartfelt expressions with attuned presence, many partners will respond habitually with things like explaining, fixing, or advice giving, or relating. And while these responses are often they're coming from well-intended desire to help or connect, it can come also from an instinct to protect themselves if it's difficult to stay with the discomfort of what their partner is saying. These responses can sometimes have the unintended impact of really blocking a quality of connection that could be possible if empathy was present in that moment. These are often habits that formed over time in family or cultural conditioning where empathic attunement simply wasn't modeled. After clients identify their non-empathy habits, we can support them in better understanding what these habits are in service to. A client may find they are going towards problem solving because this is how care was demonstrated in their family of origin. We can validate the need for care and how problem solving can be a very effective way of doing that at times. We want to help them simply notice, begin to support them in noticing, is it supporting the connection in this moment, in this present experience? Empathy isn't always the best response to all situations. We're simply supporting clients in cultivating an awareness of responses to each other that are based on the needs present, not just based on habits learned and practiced over time. Clients can then begin to make much more intentional choices in moments when empathy is what would support the connection. It is my hope that from this video, you got a sense of how, as we're supporting clients in cultivating the relationship competency of empathy in their relationship, they're learning that skill, but also we are creating a pathway for deeper exploration and healing along the way. And when couples can learn how to really move through these obstacles, they're not just improving their communication skills, they are actually changing the way they relate to each other at the deepest levels. So, as therapist, I invite you to reflect if you would like. I'm going to give you a few prompts. Feel free to pause here if you'd like to take a moment of your own reflection. First, who in your practice struggles with offering or receiving empathy? What might their obstacles in accessing empathy be rooted in? How could guiding them through these obstacles open new possibilities in their relationship? If this work resonates with you and you have a sense that you have clients that would also really benefit from being empowered to incorporate deeper empathy into their own relationship, I'd like to invite you to continue with a deeper dive with us. We're going to have a 2-hour introduction to empathy available online. You can click the link below. Would love to have you there. And until next time, as always, let's continue to lead with love.